well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Jo here of SportsGrid. We're over here live on SportsGrid TV for a Pocket with Jo. 4 games on the ice, and I hope you cashed yesterday with me. We had some great underdogs, great player props, and made some freaking money. So let's do it again today. 4 games on the slate. I'm going to tell you, I'm loving power play points today. I'm loving the dogs, and I'm loving some higher scoring battles out there on the ice. So as we jump into the first game, with the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Detroit Red Wings. This is one of those games I'm actually kind of nervous to take over the 6.5. The juice is to the over at minus 118. We have seen Edmonton games trend to that under as this offense really hasn't been clicking, but I'm waiting for that point that offense starts clicking. Now versus the Red Wings here, both of these teams, I do think we'll see that step up on the power play in this battle. The Red Wings are almost a $2 underdog. They're plus 202, minus 250 here for the Edmonton Oilers. So puck line is where you'd have to look. Laying 1.5 for the Oilers at plus 100 and 1.5. If you grab that with the Red Wings, they're coming in at minus 120. Now, when I look at this, I do think we get off to a hot start, even though I don't like the full game over. We got Calvin Pickett expected here, actually confirmed for the Edmonton Oilers. He's got a 3.29 goals against average, and that save percentage is below 900 at 852. And Cam Talbot coming out to get the start for the Red Wings. Now, his numbers, 913 save percentage. So I do like where he's going there. It's a second night of a back-to-back for the Detroit Red Wings. They lost last night in Buffalo, losing that game 5-3, but still able to put up those 3 goals. This is the second night, of course, then of a back-to-back. They've got no games until Wednesday. When we look at Edmonton here, it's the first night of a back-to-back. They will play Columbus tomorrow. Now, they're off a nice win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins on Friday. They got that 4-0 win. The power play only converting at 14.3% and converting here for the Red Wings at 19.2. I do think because these kills are so weak on either side and because of goaltending, we have to look at the power play points tonight for these power plays to start clicking. Looking at Edmonton, that PK, that kills 58.3%. Detroit's is only 64.3, second worst. So you got the worst and the worst here on the kill. Not great power plays either. What I'm going to do is Zach Hyman still hasn't got on the board for Edmonton. I am waiting for him to get on the board. You know, he had like 50 goals last season. So Zach Hyman for the anytime goal plus 135, I will hit on. I think the first period starts explosive. Over 1.5 goals in the first period at minus 142, and both teams to score in the first period at plus 158. Now, I do lean to it going over, but just to warn you, Edmonton games have combined to that under 6.5, only going over twice this season. But if these power play points come in, that is where I think we're going to get the most of your value in this game. Looking at Connor McDavid for the power play point, he's coming in at plus 100. He's got 3 goals and 5 assists so far on the season. Leon Draisaitl coming in for the power play point at plus 155. Leon Draisaitl 4 goals and 3 assists. Now, Corey Perry has been quiet, only 1 goal and no assists out there. I'm going to stay off him. Evan Bouchard, I do think on that top power play line is worth a look. He's getting a lot of minutes out there. He's coming in at plus 180. And then when we look here at the Red Wings, I'd look at Patrick Kane for the power play point. He's coming in at plus 210 again on that top line, 2 goals and 3 assists. Dylan Larkin, we're getting him for the power play point at plus 260. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist on the season. And Alex DeBrincat coming out with 4 goals and 3 assists. I'm going to stay off of him for the power play point. If you want to look at the power play point, it's plus 280. But I think you're going to get more value with Lucas Raymond here. Lucas Raymond on that top power play line here for the Red Wings, his power play point coming in at plus 320. So that is where I'm going to look. I'm going to round robin if I can. I know you can't do it on FanDuel, but if you're looking at other books, round round robining these power play points is a really solid way to go, because I do think we're going to cash on a couple of these on the same line. Okay, now Montreal versus Philadelphia. Montreal and Philadelphia, both on the second night of a back-to-back. Montreal able to get the win last night, and the Flyers able to break that terrible losing streak and win as well. Now, the Flyers are a favorite. It's kind of laughable. I don't know why this isn't more of a pick 'em. They're minus 172. There's no way in hell I'm going to put my money on the Flyers at that price. Plus 142 for the Montreal Canadiens. Sign me up all day. This is a young, scrappy team that never gives up. I still don't trust the Flyers. I don't trust their defense. Total 6.5, minus 104 to the over. I definitely can see this one flying over that total if the Flyers can score. Now, they did have Courtier get the hat trick, Sean, last night. He got a hat trick and 2 assists. We also saw that first goal he was able to get was his 500th point of his NHL career. So that was pretty big for him and the Flyers last night. They got that win over the Minnesota Wild. And a game I didn't expect them to be able to beat the Wild. They got a 7-5 win. Now, tonight, Montreal's coming off that win versus the St. Louis Blues. They got a big 5-2 win. Give me the over. Give me Montreal's team total over 2.5. That's coming in at minus 136. And I do think Montreal straight up on the money line. Now, when we look at these two teams, the last 4 games, the road team has won each and every one of those. So Montreal at plus 142 holds so much value. Montreal's also won 3 of the last 5. So they've won the last 2 on the road, won 3 of the last 5, with one of those being a home game. I'm looking for Nick Suzuki to continue to step up. Nick Suzuki has 9 points, 2 goals, and 7 assists. He got 2 assists last night. Cole Caulfield was able to light the lamp last night. He now has 7 goals and 1 assist. So between those 2 players, I would be looking for them to come out strong. The kill here is strong for both of these teams on that PK, but when we look at their power plays, they're right around the same, 24-25% conversion. So stay out of the box for Montreal, and they have everything with Pinois confirmed in net to get this win tonight and hand the Flyers back another win. Yeah, I like Suzuki for that anytime goal. The Ducks are absolutely quacking. We're going to talk about them next. The Ducks quacking. We got to take them straight up on the money line as well. Okay, so the Ducks versus the Devils. The Ducks have actually won the last 2 meetings versus the New Jersey Devils, 4-3 in the last one, 5-1 in the one prior. The Devils had won the 3 prior to that. James Reimer getting the start here for the not the New Jersey Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks here, and he's been really strong versus Devils in his career with a 2.58 goals against average versus them and a 9.1 for save percentage. I trust James Reimer to come in here and be able to do enough to keep this one tight with the Ducks. Now, yes, the Ducks are off that game yesterday versus New York Rangers, one where we had them on the puck line. They covered that puck line versus the Rangers. It was a 2-1 win for the Rangers. Jacob Markstrom just hasn't looked great out there for the Devils, and this team has lost their last 4. They have a road trip on deck, and that's where I expect them to get back on track. It's a hard road trip. It's Vancouver, Calgary, and then Edmonton, but I do think already this team is looking ahead to that road trip. They've lost 4. They know the Ducks roll in here and play them hard, but I think the Ducks continue to do so. So current lines on this one, we're looking at the Anaheim Ducks, plus 260 on the money line. It's got my money. Plus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 105. It's got my money as well. Total of 6.5. These 2 teams actually trend to that under when they play each other. The under 6.5 is minus 110. It's actually surprising because I know a lot of people thinking the New Jersey Devils are going to come in and blanket the Ducks with goals in this one and almost can go over that total themselves. The books obviously not thinking so, putting in a pick 'em on each side. So 5-2 record on the puck line this season for the Anaheim Ducks. You look at the New Jersey Devils, puck line records at home last season were not pretty. They went 6-27 on that puck line at home. And yes, we've got some new building blocks here for the Devils. We got a new goaltender in Jacob Markstrom, but I don't trust them in this one. Now, if you're looking at power play points, the power play is strong here for the New Jersey Devils. It's weak for the Anaheim Ducks. The kill is not fantastic for the Devils at 77.4. It's not the worst. It's not like the Oilers out there. We got a little bit stronger kill for the Ducks at 78.9. We know Troy Terry has been leading the Ducks, and we've been able to cash with him for those anytime goals. Troy Terry, if he comes out on the power play and can convert, it's at plus 400. Is it worth it? I don't know if it's worth it. I'd probably just take him for the anytime goal. You could also look at the Ducks over 2.5 goals. Now, we know the Devils, Jack Hughes, Jasper Ratt, Nico Hischier, and Dougie Hamilton have been converting on that power play, putting up those points. So if you want to look at any of those players, you can, but I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. So I'm not ready to really sign up and take a lot of those players on the power play. Okay. Fun one here. The Ottawa Senators are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. This game for me is coming down to who can stay out of the freaking box. And I do think the Sens have the edge. I think this is another dog barking. So the Senators at plus 140 versus the Colorado Avalanche absolutely is a play on for me. Plus 1.5 on the puck line, not enough value at minus 176. It's minus 170 here if you like Colorado to stay hot. We've got a total of 6.5, minus 122 to the over. With how goaltending has been for Colorado, very, very hard to take it to the under. So Georgiev, 1-3, almost giving up 5 goals per game at 4.98. He's got an 810 save percentage. 810 save percentage for Georgiev. This is not going to last, you guys. We're going to get goaltenders getting back into form. Even Allmark's not in form. He's got an 882 save percentage, 1-2 on the season with a 3.43. These goaltenders have to find a way to keep that puck out of the back of their net. Now, we're seeing Colorado coming in with a win over Utah. They were able to light the lamp and limit those goals. That was a 5-1. But I look here at the Ottawa Senators and this scrappy team. Yes, they spend time in the box, less minutes than Colorado at 8.1. They are so strong on the power play, converting 41.7% of the time, with Colorado averaging right around 9 minutes per game in the box. I do think Ottawa is a play on today for those power play points. Now, especially with Georgiev in goal. If this team has the one-man advantage, they are absolutely going to convert. They're converting at 41.7%, and the kill is dreadful here for the Abs, only at 69.6%. So it's scary. I know Colorado has to get back into form. I'm just not seeing it in this matchup today. This is their first game home as well, off a 3-game road trip. Not a place I like to bet on teams. And this is game 3 on the road for the Ottawa Senators. So tired legs start to come into effect, but this is a huge game here. They are off that loss to the LA Kings 6-4 on Friday. So they've had a day's rest in between. And I do think they step up. Now, Pinto is on day to day. I would expect him to play today. So Ottawa plus 140. Let's look at some of those power play points because I haven't got those bets in. There's been so many bets to get in today between NFL, NHL. You know how it goes, you guys. Look at the power play points in this one, and I'm so glad to see they are starting to come up in most of these games. So we're not getting the power play points. We're getting the player points right now, not the power play points. And it's interesting because FanDuel has left some of these teams with high power play ability, conversion rates off the power play point list. So that scares me. First period, though, can we see an explosion in the first period between these two teams? If I was looking at anyone to convert a point in the first period for the Colorado Avalanche, I would look at Nathan McKinnon, of course. He's coming in at plus 114. Cale Makar for the first period point is coming in at plus 168. I love the value on that. Rantanen at plus 162. I do think Casey Middlestat, how can we not look at Casey Middlestat? He's coming in at plus 325. He's on that top line, top power play line. And then when we look at Ottawa, it's Brady Tkachuk. I'm all over Brady Tkachuk today at plus 300 for a power play, or no, a first period player point. It's a mouthful. They don't have the power play points up yet. I would be looking at let's just see. Let's look at the goal scorers, and I will tell you who I like here for the Ottawa Senators. Josh Norris has been cashing for us for the Ottawa Senators on the power play. I'd look at him. Ross Colton on the other side for the Abs. Insane moneymaker for us on the power play. I really doubt FanDuel's going to have the power play points available today. They took him off for the last game for Colorado, and they took him off the last time for the Ottawa Senators. So if you can play them, play them. Casey Middlestat's also being strong. Drake Batherson on that top power play unit and line as well with Brady Tkachuk and Josh Norris. So that's who I'd look at for Ottawa. For the Avs, you know Nathan MacKinnon. You're going to get the least value with Nathan MacKinnon. Cale Makar, I can see the assist coming in on the power play at plus 310. Casey Middlestat at plus 260. And then Ross Colton, he's got the goals. He's got the assists. He's been absolutely dominant on that power play. That's why his power or his anytime goal is plus 210, where weeks ago it was like plus 500. So that is what I'm looking at today, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me over here on Puckett with Jo on SportsGrid TV. Now, if you're looking for me for the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to start watching these 11 o'clock games, and then I'm jumping on SportsGrid. I'm live all afternoon on the grid for the later games. So 4:20 Eastern, we kick off, myself and Scott Wetzel. We'll have our same game parlays. We're going to give them to you right away before those 4:25 games kick off, give you all of our best bets. And then we're going to be live betting these games as they go, of course, talking Monday Night Football. So make sure you join me over on the grid. If you don't know where to find us, www.sportsgrid.com/watch. You can also download the app. My Madden Quickie and Same Game Parlay are actually up on my X. So check out my X at Jo Madden Sports. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. Let's make some freaking money out there on the ice today. We're rolling with the Dogs. If you're just here, just joining now, I like the Ottawa Senators at plus 140. I like the Ducks are quacking plus 1.5 and a sprinkle on that money line. I also like Montreal at plus 142. And then Detroit and Edmonton. Give me the first period in both teams, over 1.5 and both teams to score, and the power play points in that one. You guys, let's go. I will see you here tomorrow. Remember, every single day here for your NHL bets on SportsGrid TV, noon Eastern. That's where you're going to find me. See you guys. Hit so many times.